Hello and welcome back to Manifesting with the Moon. I am Kristy Sturdivant and I am here today with Stephanie Cartwright, and we are talking about the full moon happening today, March 3rd, in the sign of Leo, which also happens to be a lunar eclipse and a blood moon. Whew, it's a lot, isn't it, Steph?
That does sound like a lot. That
hmm
does sound like a lot. That's a lot of energy all on top of each other.
hmm
And as well as that, it's in Leo. So
Yes.
I kind of Leo for me is all about leadership, creativity, kind of self-expression. Think about
hmm
that great big mane and kind of standing tall and saying, here I am,
hmm
but doing it my way. So not only have you got that energy, you've also got all of this other energy to do with eclipse, blood moon. Oh, let's see where this is going to take us. Hey.
Yeah, it can really be intense. I feel like it's this constant balance of like, yes, I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to go out and do new things, but it can also be really disruptive sometimes at this time because there is
Mm.
so many other outside um, pieces in play that can be like, oh no, we don't like this, topple over type thing. So it's a precarious place to be right now, and it kind of feels like it too.
Yeah, it does. I think anything to do with a full moon, it does kind of feel everything is made bigger, made
Yes.
louder, made brighter, made more intense. So, thinking about that, this is where obviously, if you're wanting to make intentions, you can, of course, set intentions with a full moon, but remember the energy of the full moon is around releasing. So, one of the things I was thinking about to do with this kind of leadership, creativity, self-expression was if you are thinking about maybe setting some intentions for maybe the spring or the summer, so something seasonal, because we've got that lovely worm moon, so we're emerging. So we've got to think about that
Mhm.
whole emerging, coming back in. Okay. Maybe think about what you can release as part of that. So the example I was thinking about was if I want to write a book, which is actually something I'd like to do,
Mm.
what I need to think about is what I need to release to write that book. So, intention, write a book. Okay. So, what am I releasing? So, am I scrolling too much on Instagram? I could release time on Instagram and therefore generate time for the book. Okay, so this is how we use with intentions. We set our intention in a full moon, but then we have to think if that intention happens, what do I have to let go of on this side? Because this is where we're going to be using the full moon energy. What do I need to let go of so that I can achieve that intention? So that's my sort of like that. My example is there for that. What do we need to release? Think about your intentions if you're going to set them, but then think about the let it go, people, let it go. Because if we're going to go over here, something has to be released. And the full moon energy is all about that. You've got maximum support. You've also got that energy from the Leo in this moon. So creativity is absolutely perfect. Think about it. If you really want to get those projects done, well, then you're going to have to let go of some of those other things. Maybe it's that have been distracting you in order to get those done. And that's okay because this is how we use all the energy that's out there for us. So, what about you for this moon, Kristy? What are you thinking about?
Well, it's interesting because I've also been thinking about releasing stuff, but I have really been trying to look at my goals and what I've been wanting to do in my creative endeavors and looking at what programs am I still running in the background that's holding me back, which is also full moon, but it's also this lunar eclipse energy, right? This is a really good time to like see what you want, shift that identity, and then like let go of the shadows because we're going to be in the shadows with this. And so it's like, okay, I want to write a book because I also always want to write a book. And it's like, okay, well, I'm feeling very courageous. I'm feeling very creative with this nice Leo energy. I have my goals in place, but well, why am I not doing it? What exactly is running in my background? Do I have any like imposter syndrome about doing this? Is there anything that I'm afraid to let go and share with the world? Is there a part of myself that needs to be a little bit healed? So I do feel like this is also a really good opportunity to do a little bit of shadow dancing, let go of that kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, so this is a really good time for us to also be looking at the shadows. So the
Mhm.
reason why we're, for instance, scrolling on Instagram,
Mhm.
it's about why am I wanting to distract myself? Is it because actually I'm nervous about people reading my story? Is it
Mhm.
because but basically going into that sort of like that shadow self and just actually unpicking it and going, I need to let this go because this is the direction I'm going. But if this
Mhm.
is holding me back, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
outgrowing it.
Yeah, and it's a lot of stuff that I think um it feels for me right now that in my life and people in around me, they have been revealing a lot of patterns that they've been stuck in. Like they didn't
Hmm.
even realize it until you bring it to their attention. Like, oh, I kind of did this last year. It was a little bit different, but it was still kind of the same. And so I think this is also a really good chance for you to kind of look at like, what patterns have I fallen into that I want to reset and readjust and rewire a little bit to move forward? And a lot of those do happen to be around your shadows and everything. But since this is such a really impactful full moon with this Leo courage energy, I think it's going to be a really good time to utilize that and kind of really be like, no, you know what? I do want to write. Perhaps, instead of like setting a goal to do 20 minutes a day, maybe I just do 5 minutes a day. Like it doesn't have to be anything huge. Sometimes
Nice.
just like doing a little bit of shift here and there makes
Yeah.
really big impact in the long term. But I think you also have to take into account like how you're feeling about it. Not all habits and patterns need to be like a daily thing. You also need to follow your cycles. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration here, but tease out
Yeah.
those little things that might be keeping you stuck where you are.
Yeah, well, I think that that's a really good way to do it. Actually, those almost like a micro habit.
Mm.
I'm just going to write for 5 minutes. But hey, very quickly, it's all going to add up. I was
Hmm.
talking to somebody about this, about applying for new jobs. So where they want to do their changes are around new work patterns, a new work environment. And they were being really held up by the applying because it was like, oh, I got to apply for like 60 jobs. It's like, yeah, but hey, apply for one a day and that's 30 a month. Apply
Hmm.
for two a day, that's 60 every single month. You
Hmm.
know, by the time you've done that for 2 months, you've got 600 applications out there. Make the start. It doesn't have to be, if you keep thinking 60, not going to start thinking about two a day, thinking about one a day. That's the way to make progress, one step at a time, not thinking about the mountain you're going to climb, just the one step at a time.
Yes, I agree completely. I feel like this has been like also circling around my world is like, where are your energetic leaks happening? Right? Like, what are those little things that you keep doing? Is it that game that you play on your phone every day? I'm guilty of that. I have a game that I like just every couple minutes, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do this real quick. And then I lose like 15 minutes just like that when I could have spent it doing something else. So,
Sure.
what energetic leaks are kind of like siphoning off your precious resource so that you can actually shift where you want to shift so that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Love it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sounds like this that we've got some shifting to do then this full moon.
Yes, it's always exciting. I love a full moon. It feels so exciting and energetic and
Yeah.
empowering. So,
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yes.
So, yeah, so I guess I hope everyone else enjoys their full moon. And
Hmm.
anyone who listens to that, even if they're making some intentions, if you want us to also know what intentions you're setting, write them in the comments because I think, sometimes a part of intention setting and goal setting is having them witnessed by other people. So, and you can always add them in the comments on the links.
Yes, and we love to read those, and we'll definitely get back to you because I know that I share my intentions with Stephanie, and it really keeps me accountable and like it puts it in the back of my mind, and you're vocalizing it, therefore you're setting it on a path to manifestation. So
Yeah,
it's very important.
it is. Definitely is. Well, that's
Yes,
all part of the fun of manifesting with the moon, isn't it? Is it's all about,
absolutely.
that intention, getting that creation started.
Yes, and don't be scared if it feels a little intense with this blood moon. I was just telling Stephanie before this that the last year's blood moon around this time really kicked me hard, and it was really intense, and there was a lot of tears, but I came out so much better on the other side, and I'm so grateful for it. So if you are having some, tough times and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this feels so intense," like just breathe. Just
Yeah,
breathe. You have survived everything up until this point.
yeah, you'll
And,
get through this.
yes, try to see what lessons are coming in that, might help you shift into that new reality.
Yeah.
And I guess I think that's all I have for this. How about you, Steph?
Yeah, I think I've shared everything. So,
All right.
yeah, I just hope that everyone enjoys their moon. And if they do have some really gorgeous moon images, make sure you capture them because if we do get that nice blood moon, it does often look quite orangey, not
Mhm.
necessarily red, but really very orange. And it's a really nice thing to capture. And they're fairly rare.
They are. They are fairly rare. They're very special, right? They're like the blue moons. Those are also very special. So
Mm.
the moon is a gorgeous thing. It's so nice to flow with it every month, and we will let you guys to it. Have a great one.
Bye.